Donald Trump is fuming over a new report that details his ongoing health woes, and fair warning to everyone now, this story will do very little to quell your fears about Trump's health. That said, those of you looking for a dose of schadenfreude, get comfy on the couch, though not as comfy as J.D. Vance would get on the couch. I'm David Reddish, welcome to Occupy Democrats, and once again, please remember to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date. Now then, on to our story. Anyone who has seen the news since Donald Trump has returned to office will have some severe questions about his health, both mental and physically speaking. Trump often seems confused, makes incorrect statements, and seems winded. And of course, that doesn't even get into the frequent bruising on his hands or his swollen ankles, which the White House attributes to chronic venous insufficiency, but numerous medical experts say are symptoms consistent with congestive heart failure. See our other videos for more on details there. And then there are the issues surrounding Trump's multiple MRI scans and cognitive tests this year, the kind of tests only administered to people showing signs of a stroke or dementia. Earlier this week, here's what Trump had to say about it.
I took my physical. I got all A's, everything. But they said to me, would you like to take a cognitive test? I said, is it hard? They said, yes. I said, well, I'm a very smart person. Who was the last president to take one? No president has ever agreed to take one. Because when you get into the mid-questions, meaning 10, question number 10, 11, 12, 28, 30, they get harder and harder.
An A-plus MRI? I don't think those usually get grades. And hard questions on a cognitive test? How do they get harder, Donald? By asking you to draw a clock or circle the animal that is a giraffe? That's hard. And if that distresses you or frankly makes you chuckle, stay tuned. You know, there's a huge irony to Trump's statement there. In that very same press conference, after all his bluster about being in great health, he appeared to fall asleep. CNN even assembled a supercut.
But there were plenty of moments where he wasn't saying anything at all. In fact, while his secretaries went around the table, the 79-year-old president might have looked to some as though he may have dozed off a few times. Eyes closed, head nodding down. The White House says what you're seeing here is the president listening attentively while running basically a marathon 3-hour cabinet meeting. So why are we talking about this? Well, it's something that Trump himself made a central issue on the campaign trail a year ago.
He spends a day and then comes back. He falls asleep at every single event. They don't target Joe on the beach as he sleeps. He sleeps. How do you fall asleep when cameras are raging? I wish I could do that. Sleep with the cameras.
That was just last year. Group chat is back. Listen, my pastor will say I should not be talking about this, okay? Because I've been busted.
Don't you just love how everyone there has to stifle laughter? And this is on CNN. It's telling that more and more Americans find Trump's excuses and his frequent nodding off increasingly hilarious. It's like the kid that insists he didn't eat all the cookies in the cookie jar, but is covered in crumbs and chocolate smears. And now apparently the mockery is really getting under Trump's skin. His saggy, baggy, bruised, painted skin. Check this out. The Daily Beast now reports that Donald Trump has frequent angry outbursts over the increasing coverage of his failing health. Specifically, Trump hates being compared to former President Biden, who he dubbed Sleepy Joe on the campaign trail. The irony is Trump appears to fall asleep on a regular basis after this point, something Biden, who is several years older, never did. In fact, one source quoted in the piece says the coverage makes Trump even more upset than the coverage of his connections to the Epstein files. Quote, he is sensitive to being compared, even if not explicitly, to Sleepy Joe, close quote, a Trump advisor said, quote, especially if it's coming from a reporter he already hates, close quote. The same report notes that more and more outlets are covering Trump's health woes and cognitive slips, senior moments, if you want to call them that. That includes CNN, The Washington Post, and The New York Times. And of course, none of this actually addresses the signs of a stroke Trump has displayed in public, the rumors that his cabinet has considered invoking the 25th Amendment to declare him unfit for office, or explains what exactly doctors were even looking for with the MRI or cognitive tests. The bottom line is this. Trump is angry because it is getting harder and harder for him and the ticks in his cabinet to hide the fact that he is not well and in rapid decline. And that's only going to get harder over time. But here's my big question. Do you suppose the cabinet has a contingency plan in place for when Trump has a clear and irrefutable health crisis in public? And if so, what will that look like? Will they remove him? Or will we get a White House version of Weekend at Bernie's with the cabinet carrying his corpse around and doing their best to make him look alive? Either way, stay tuned. This movie is only just beginning. This is Occupy Democrats.